I've just came back from my vacation in Greece, Thasos. I went with my girlfriend and we stayed there for 10 nights. Now, we went by a car. Some of you know I have a bike. I have a brand new Suzuki V-Strom 650. But this is a brand new bike. I still didn't do the first service yet. And we don't really have enough gear. So in the end, we decided to go with our car. Now I drive a small Skoda Fabia 1.2 liter engine, 2012 year. This is by all means not a car for a long distance traveling, especially not for around 2,500 kilometers. But it's a car that will take you from point A to point B and back without any issues, complications. So yeah, we had a good time. I will do a review for this car in other videos in the future, but just know that if you have a chance, go with a little bit of a bigger car. You will have more space for more things and it will be more pleasant, more comfortable. Now, in this video, I want to go over the whole trip and comment the road quality, talk about travel options, and Greece as a destination for vacation in general. This may help you decide what you're going to do for your next trip. Is Greece good enough for you, or you might look for something else? Now, let's start with the beginning. Of course, I like to start early. I like to ride, 5, 6 a.m. to avoid crowds, to avoid high heat. Let's not forget, I was going in August, so during the day it's around 30 to 35 degrees Celsius. And driving in this heat for a long period of time will get you tired and your eyes will hurt. So to avoid this, I started early. So we pre-packed the day before and we woke up at 5 a.m. and we started at 6 a.m. from Novi Sad. And the first destination is Bulgarian border, Serbian-Bulgarian border. Now, to get from Novi Sad to this border, it takes around 4 to 4.5 hours. And roads in Serbia are quite fine. There are plenty of options to take breaks, plenty of gas stations where you can fill your gas tank and rest. And the speed limit is around 130 kilometers an hour. Signs are good. There are no construction works in progress. So all in all, you will have a fine time traveling through Serbia. Now, there are tolls in Serbia which I don't really like, and there is a better system in Bulgaria called vignette. I hope I'm not butchering the name. If I am, please correct me in the comments. So in Bulgaria, as soon as you get in Bulgaria, you have to purchase vignette. This is a piece of paper basically, and you have two options, I believe, for 7 days and for 30 days. I think for 7 days is 10 euros and for 30 days is 15 euros. Because we had to stay for 10 days, we bought the 30-day one. And basically this means you can drive through Bulgaria for this period of time without having to stop anywhere. This is amazing because it's an amazing system, because in Serbia you have to get a card at the start of the highway, and then you have to keep this card, not lose it, because you will pay a fine up to, I think, 200 euros. And then in the end of the highway, you have to pay a certain amount of money. Now, at these places where you have to pay, usually you will find a crowd of people because, people are slow. So it might take you a while, depending on the time you drive. If you start early, you will probably avoid crowds and you will not have to wait. But if you start a bit later, you might have to wait on these parts of roads. Other thing is that you have two options for borders. I didn't mention this, so you can either ride through Macedonia or through Bulgaria. Now, the difference is in road quality. Macedonia has better roads than Bulgaria, but the wait time on borders is much higher at Macedonian borders. On average, it's around 5 hours, and in Bulgaria, it's around 1.5 to 2 hours. I just want to go through Bulgaria because the wait time is shorter. I don't want to stay at one place with no shade for 5 hours. No, thank you. So I opted for Bulgaria. Yes, roads are not as good of quality as in Macedonia, but it's not that bad. Now, I'm saying it's not that bad, but there are a couple of things that I really don't like. For example, signs on roads are sometimes misleading and confusing. On a couple of occasions, you will find a sign for construction in progress, slow down, whatever, but there's nothing on the road. So you will find people are slowing down, crowds are starting to gather for a certain amount of time on the road without a reason. Now, I noticed this because I noticed they left these signs for a couple of years because I went through the same road last year and the year before, and the signs are not moved. So for some reason, signs are still there to just make your trip more anxious and annoying. Other thing I don't like is there isn't a clear speed limitation, the maximum speed limitation on the highway. In Serbian roads and Greek roads, you have a clear maximum speed limit. In Serbia is 130 kilometers an hour. I think in Greece is 120. Now, by chance, I used a Google Maps navigation, so it showed me that it's 140 kilometers an hour. So I hope this is true. But if you don't have Google Maps, there is no way for you to find out what the maximum speed limit is. Again, I'm sorry if I'm being mistaken, but I haven't noticed for 3 years now. I haven't noticed any sign for maximum speed limit. These are things that are annoying, but not as big of a problem as lights. In a couple of tunnels, especially one that is around 2 kilometers long, there are no lights at all in it. This can be a big of a problem because when you get into a tunnel, your eyes adjust to the dark. And then when you get out, there's a sudden flash of light that will blind you for like a couple of seconds, which can be pretty dangerous. So you definitely have to pay more attention. Another thing is that there is a piece of road that is a highway, but technically isn't. By definition, it isn't a highway because it only has one lane on each side, and it goes through the forest, but somehow on map is still a highway, whatever. So you're riding through the forest, you can't overtake because turns are very sharp, you can't see anything, and if you have a truck in front of you, it's going to be very annoying. You have to drive really slowly. But if you're going during the day, it's fine. If you're going during the night, there are no lights. And this is a forest, no lights. Visibility is very limited, so please pay attention, be focused, maximum focus. It's pretty dangerous. Now, it's fun to ride on roads like these, but, it's not very safe. So please, Bulgaria, if you're listening, add some lights to your roads. Now, the first destination in Bulgaria is the city called Sandanski. Again, I hope I'm not butchering the name, but this is a very nice city. It's tourist oriented. It has amazing sightseeing destinations, amazing park, and there's a long street with shops on sides. It's really nice. It's not very expensive. For two of us, it took around $40 to sleep, with breakfast included. So again, it's not expensive. I advise you to take a break in this city, not because of that only, but because it's very close to Bulgarian-Greek border. Now, from Bulgarian-Serbian border to Sandanski takes around 2.5 hours drive, and from Sandanski to Greek-Bulgarian border takes around 20 minutes. So if you start early, as I did, you will have no wait time at the border. You will just pass through and be in Greece very quickly. I advise you to do this. No wait time, very easy. Now, when you get into Greece, again, you have tolls. There are 3 of them, and they're very cheap, like €2 per stopping. Again, if you go a bit later, there might be some crowds, but if you go earlier, there will be no crowds. So I just passed through them, paid, and just went through to the next stop. And your first main stop is a city called Keramoti. Again, butchering the name, sorry. This city is basically your ferryboat city. Now, ferryboat is around €35. So it takes around 45 minutes to get to Thasos, and this is an amazing experience for first-timers, as you know, a lot of beautiful sightseeings. You can feed seagulls, which it's very popular to do. I don't think it's very good for birds, for animals, but people buy snacks, and you can hold some kind of snacks in your fingers, and the seagull will fly and take it from your hand. It's popular thing to do, especially for kids. I don't think feeding chips is very healthy for seagulls, but it is what it is. And the whole ride, as I said, lasts for 45 minutes, and then you are on the island. Now, as soon as you get from the ferryboat, you will basically be able to travel on the island wherever you want to go. The whole place, so from one point, to get to it again, so to drive the whole circle, takes around 2 hours. So I definitely advise you to take one day from your vacation to drive, to see a lot of different places, a lot of public and wild, unexplored places, because it's worth it. You will lose one day, but you will definitely see a lot of good things. You can try food at different restaurants. There are a lot of small places near the coast that you can take a pause, take a swim, and then continue driving. Now, one thing you should pay attention to are other drivers. So in Thasos, police basically isn't present. And there are a lot of people who rent out bikes, buggies, cars, and whatever you want, and they don't have licenses. So, yeah. Another thing is, similar to Bulgaria, a lot of roads on Thasos don't have lights. And corners are very sharp. The visibility on roads is not great. So definitely pay attention and be extra careful when driving during night. Now, there are a lot of cities or smaller villages in Thasos that I would definitely recommend you visit, like Panagia, like Scala Potamia, Limenaria. again, I hope I'm not butchering the names, but a lot of great places. It's not very expensive. For around 1,000 euros, you can get a place for 2 people for 10 nights. Food wise, there's a lot of local stuff, fresh fish, fresh fruits and vegetables, a great lamb, and for around 20 to 30 euros, you can eat basically everything in a restaurant per person, of course. Take a break from cooking and just go eat out. Go experience something new. You will see a lot of, seafood, actually great seafood, and pizzas are amazing. They make very good food. One thing I didn't like is that for some reason they tend to not give you food at the same time. So a lot of times girlfriends ordered one thing, I ordered something else, and she got her food 10 minutes before me, and yeah, she ate her own food, then I got mine. I don't know why this is not like standardized in Serbia and in other places, other countries. It's normal for you to have the food for everyone at one time. But here, this is not the case. It's just normal for them. So yeah, just go with it. You have a lot of shops where you can buy souvenirs, where you can buy, sweets, presents for others. Leather and products from leather are very good quality and not expensive. My girlfriend bought a very good bag for around 50 euros. It would cost her around $200 here in Serbia. So yeah, just see a lot of things and bring some money for presents and for stuff just in case. Now after 10 nights, again we decided to start early and drive back, but not only for avoiding heat and crowds, but the view from ferry boat early in the morning is priceless. I will show you a video. I will show you some images, but it's worth seeing this in person, live. The colors, or orange colored clouds, blue skies, it's amazing. So if you are going to Thasos and if you're going by ferry boat, take some time, get up early, see this. Don't avoid it. Now, again, the ride is the same back to Serbia. One thing I did is what I do every single year that I traveled. Basically, when going back, I didn't sleep, so I did a stupid challenge and drove through the whole thing in one sitting. We did take a couple of breaks, but nothing special, like 15-minute breaks. And with those breaks, it took us around 13 to 14 hours. So we started at around 6 a.m. and in Greece, and we got in Novi Sad, Serbia at around 7 p.m. Yeah, one thing I have to say is that there is a time difference of 1 hour. So you have to count that in. Also, one more thing, when you get into Serbia, when you cross the Serbian border and from Bulgaria, for some reason, for about an hour, there are no gas stations. I don't know why. So definitely pay attention to that and fill up your gas tank in Bulgaria, just in case, for some reason, there are no gas stations. All in all, that's it. We arrived in Serbia. Car was fine. Yeah. If you have any questions about the trip, if I missed something, please leave a comment. I will answer as soon as possible. Like, subscribe, And I really hope this video will help you decide on your next destination. And I really hope you will decide to go to Greece. It doesn't have to be Thasos. There are other places you can see. Parga, Zakynthos, what else? Olympic Beach. A lot of places, very good places to visit, even cheaper than Thasos. I think Thasos is one of the more expensive places. And yeah, I hope you will decide to go to Greece and see it for yourself, experience the warm water, good climate, nice people, and amazing food. Thank you for watching the video. I hope this helps you, and ride safe, stay safe. See you next time.